Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mama and the Bag Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday night. Take two. What else is new, right? Well, I done it again. I made another top. This is, like I said to y'all before, when I showed y'all the square I was working on in the last video. It's for a fellow content creator that has a birthday this month. I'm not going to name her because I don't know if she's watching my videos. She might be, but she's kind of busy, so I don't know if she's watching or not. But I can now wash it and get it into the mail to her this coming week, since it went kind of quicker. I used a 6mm on this one instead of the 5.5 that I used on the other tops that I made, so it did go a little quicker. And I did use the same yarn, the Karen Blossom Cake in the Caribbean Sea color, which is my favorite color of those cakes, and she likes turquoises and teals too, and so this was quite a joy to work on. But I did this one, of course, a bit different than I've done each top I've done differently, a little bit tweaked it a bit differently than the rest. Now this one I sort of, with the exception of the body shaping I did on this one, went by the Fiber Flux tutorial. I added a little body shaping just because she had, in casual conversation, mentioned that she liked baggy tops. So I wanted to make sure that, because she's a smaller person, that she had the baggy top that she, is comfortable in. So this will probably be baggy on her. But it did come out fine. I did, for the body shaping, I did one row on once I marked off the rows that I would be doing for her neck. I did one row on each of the top of each square. I did one row on each square. I did one little row of the granny cluster stitches on each square. So you'd see this the square, and then you'll see a little line of stitches on the top of each square on each side, and then on each sides along this way I did 2 rows of body shaping. So I added 2 rows on each side of each square. And so that's what, and then I see, when I seamed them up. And when I do seaming, I use a single crochet seaming, because I just think it's a more sturdier stitch, and I'll show y'all how that looks in case you're new to crocheting and not sure what that looks like. It does give a ridge on the inside, but if it was a piece of clothing you bought in the store, it's going to have a seam anyway. So this is what that looks like. It does have a ridge. So unlike the mattress stitch or the whip stitch or the slip stitch that doesn't have this ridge, single crocheting your items together will give you this little ridge. I don't mind this ridge, and I hope that she doesn't mind it. But from my point of view, as I've only been doing crocheting about 1.5 years, I know as strange as that may seem that I'm making wearables and cranking them out like this. I've only been crocheting 1.5 years. I'm just one of those people that once I pick up something, I really pick it up. But I just feel like that this stitch will hold longer and more sturdier wash after wash than those other stitches. And this is going, I mean, you think about it, a seam is going to rub against your body, and she's likely going to be wearing a tank top underneath this, so it's going to be rubbing. And so if all you have is slip stitches or a whip stitch, how long are you going to be able to wear that before you have to restitch it? With this stitch, and this is just my thought process, you're probably not going to have to go back and redo this. This is going to hold for a very long time. So that's just my way of thinking. And it's not going to just easily rip either. You know, if you get it snagged on something, it's not going to be easy to rip. So it's just a very sturdy, and it gives me peace of mind when it leaves my hands into the next person's hands, that, you know, it's not going to just come apart on them. So that's why I do it the way I do it, because I feel more mental. Yeah, I have that certain security that when it leaves my hands, it's not going to fall apart on them in the wash. It's not going to snag on something and just instantly rip, and all my work has come apart on them, and then they're stuck with something they can't wear because it's come apart and they don't know how to fix it. So that's why I do it the way I do it. I join it the way I join it. So now I did use the 6 mil, and so these the main squares I went 18 rounds on. The main squares I went 18 rounds for each granny square, and then of course I added two rows to each side of each square, and then the one little row on the top shoulders on each square. And then on the sleeves I did 10 rounds on the sleeves. Now in the fiber flux tutorial for the one I used, she does 10 rounds on the sleeves, and I concur that is it gives you a proper short sleeve shirt type sleeve. So after I hung it up on the hanger and got to looking at it, I was like, that looks like a proper short sleeve shirt sleeve. So I like that very much. And then down here at the bottom, I did give her the little split here, and then I did 4 rows. Now in order to do the split, when I do my seaming, I leave the little ends. I seam with just the front. I don't know if y'all can see that. I seam just starting with the first actual cluster, and then I leave the little very end pieces alone, and I just start with the actual cluster and leave the that little last little hole there, the little corner chain space. I leave the corner chain space alone, because I know that I'm going to go in there later and add my length for my split. So that's why I start with the cluster itself and just start doing my seam there. So now if I wasn't going to put a split in it, I would have started with the chain space and done my seaming up that way. But because I had planned on adding this length at the bottom, I left the chain space open without using that as part of my seam. So when I went to add length, put these little 4 rows at the bottom, I used the chain space to do that. So I just added 4 rows, and what you do is you put your 4 rows through your front chain space here on the front square, and then you do it on the back square, and that gives you your split. So it works out really well that way. And when she sits down, she'll have it be more comfortable that way. Now who I'm doing this for is very short, so this should work out for her just fine. So that's why I didn't do any more rows than 4, because she's not very tall, so she won't need it to be very long. But this should fit her fine. I used the top that I bought for Alana. Alana wanted an adult large, and so I used that as my template is for this one as an adult large, so that it would be, just a regular large, not an XL or 1X or anything like that. So that's why this is not very big. And it took 2 cakes to do it this way, because I did use that 6mm hook, and that's why I used 2 cakes. And I had like a little tiny little ball like this left of yarn, but I did use just almost every bit of 2 cakes. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one. And so I'll be washing this one and getting it in the mail this coming week. And that's that little bit of business. And then I also got some yarn. So I don't know if y'all saw the title. Hopefully by the time I upload this, I've come up with some really cool title to draw you in to look at all this luscious yarn with me. But I got 2 orders in over the weekend. One from Maxim and one from Herrschners. And so I'm a little bit disappointed in the hanks of yarn that I got from Maxim. Not in anything that Maxim did, but in just what I thought they were versus what they actually are. Let me explain. Now, I'm not upset about how they feel because I did know they were wool. Okay, it's Maxim woolly, so it's supposed to be worsted, superwash wool and nylon, because it's like 70% superwash merino wool and 30% nylon. Okay, and I'm good with that because that would mean it's super soft. It is really soft. Now when you touch it, it does, you could feel that it has teeth, the feel of wool. Okay, if you never felt wool before or you have a wool allergy, then it does have a little toothiness to it. But of course it's superwash merino, so you can machine wash and dry it, meaning I could put some fabric softener in here and probably, you know, smooth out that little bit of, you know, roughness. But it's supposed to be a 4-weight yarn. It says it's a 4-weight yarn. It even recommends, well, it says usually what they recommend for a knitting needle, they also recommend for a crochet hook, but they don't have the crochet hook recommendation. They only have the knitting needle recommendation, which is a 5 millimeter crochet hook, or 5 millimeter knitting needle. So I'm assuming that they mean the same thing for a crochet hook. Now when I look at this, this looks like a 3-weight to me. This does not look like a 4-weight. I could be wrong, but that looks more like a 3-weight. Maybe I've been spoiled by all these fatter 4-weights, but this looks like 3-weight to me, and I got 4 of these. This is 210 yards, and this is just called Teals. I think is what this colorway is called. Let me see if it says. I was looking for if it actually had the colorway on it anywhere. No, I don't. Yeah, there it is. It just says Teals. So it is, and of course it's like turquoise and teals, like a darker one and a lighter one. So, and I got this, oh, and then of course it would come undone. And I'm no good at fixing that. But I do have a Swift and a ball winder, so I'm good to, I know how to do that. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's gonna make me have to twist it up and redo it. But we might as well look at it while we're, but that is really pretty. And now, of course, when you open it up, it's a bit softer. Maybe it was just dry on the outside. Sometimes I think yarn, when it sits for a while and it sits in the open air, it dries out a little bit. But once I opened it up, it's softer on the inside. Have y'all ever experienced that? When I opened the hank up, oh, and it's got this cool little stripey effect right there, little dotted stripe there. That's cool. But I've never been one to do this hanking business, so I hope I can do that right somewhat. Of course I didn't do that right. I don't usually get these kind of yarns. That's not too bad. I don't typically get these kind of yarns. I'm a big box store kind of yarn person, but I saw these and they were only 5 something a hank, and I was like, yeah, I think I'll try that, because it said it was 4-weight, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't dealt with a lot of the hand-dyed yarn, because it's mostly thinner yarns and I can't deal with that. But this will be fine. I'm gonna try it with the 5 millimeter hook and see. But if I can't work with it because of my carpal tunnel, then this, I don't know, I may take one of them up and then give it a go and see how that goes. But I don't know, might be something I gift to somebody if it doesn't work out for me. I'm not gonna cry over, you know, something like that, because it happens. It happens. But that's not the only thing I got in here. They did also have a good. Now this yarn is kind of hard to find. This Red Heart Gemstone yarn, and this is my second favorite color. This red. But in case y'all didn't know, this is Red Heart Gemstone. And they had it in other colors, but I really like this one. And this they're calling this a 5-weight yarn. But now, I didn't really believe it was a 5-weight yarn. Now, I did pull some out, which I tucked back in here. But when I pulled it out of the skein, it went poof and plumped right up. And I was like, that's interesting. But let me see here. This is a 7-ounce skein, 200 grams, 312 yards, 285 meters. Like I said, it's a 5-weight. They recommend a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook and 6 millimeter knitting needle. It's machine wash and dry. This colorway is called Fire Agate. And so basically it's like a red and a red, orange red, but I like it. I'm not sure exactly what I'll make with it yet, because I was really hoping it was thicker, because I have some red Premier Basics chunky that I wanted to pair with it, but now seeing it and that it's not quite a 5-weight. See that's a 4 to me, but because it's not quite the 5-weight that I was hoping it was, I'm not going to be making it with that that Premier Basics chunky, because it's not thick enough to, it would look off. If I put it in a project with that, I just don't think it would look right. Strawberry water. And so I got 3 of these. And then the last thing I got was, I don't get a lot of these anymore because, well, I used to get these big old balls of yarn, and then I kind of got over that. But I saw this, and it was my colors, so I decided to try it. This is Mary Maxim Baby Blankie. You see the colors, right? Turquoise, and then you got, there's a little bit of green here, a little bit of purple right there, but lots and lots of turquoise. And so this is a 4-weight yarn, and they recommend a looks like a 5.5 maybe. It's on the fold, so it's really hard to see, but it's machine washable and dryable. The color's called what is that? I don't know what they're, oh, Bluebells, excuse me, Bluebells. And it's 100% acrylic. It's 695 yards, 10.5 ounce ball, 300 grams. Made in Turkey, of course. And I got 2 of these. So it's a lot of yardage, and probably a blanket, of course. But it's super soft. It's good. I mean, it's comparable with some of the Hershner's worsted yarn. It's I would say some of the Red Heart stripes yarn that's on the softer side. It's in that soft range. It's not rough, but it's not, you know, it's not the softest thing I've ever touched, but it's not the roughest either. So, you know, it's probably something that, like I said, will soften up after the wash. But I love the colors. I love that, you know, you go right here and you got the lighter turquoise, and then you got a pale blue here, and then you got your more of a periwinkle there, and then some white, and then you got this little spring green color here. and just all kinds. It's just all over. You know, I'm interested to see how that's going to work up. So that's one yarn order. So that's the gemstone, the baby blanket yarn, and the woolly. That was my Mary Maxim order. I got that within a week, so their shipping is fantastic. I was real impressed with how quick they got it to me from Canada. And so I'll put that. They put this in this little bag since I ordered 4 of these. But I ordered this yarn because I wanted to recreate the Cakes and Candles shawl, the one that was that's by Krista over at my Secret Yarnery. So I'm still going to go for that. I'm still going to try for that with this yarn. But if for whatever reason this yarn hurts me to use, then I will gift it to someone I think, you know, will use it and love it. So I got a big box behind me from Hershner's. Oh, I got to figure out just a minute. Let's see, I'll sit it on the top of this basket here. Oh, sorry about that. I shook the whole desk you're sitting on. I shook it, and this is gonna be a long video. That's okay. Y'all like yarn videos. I should have told y'all about my weekend. I've been working on this top all weekend, but I did make, because Amy with Hooked on Wish and Crochet had to tell me that her and her family were throwing a big barbecue for her daughter's graduation, and she got to describing all the things she was going to be cooking, and I was like, I would like some barbecue. So me and Johnny, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday, when we were grocery shopping, we picked us up a pork roast and some barbecue sauce and stuff to make potato salad, and a can of baked beans with some good flavor, already flavored baked beans. And so I put that pork roast in a crock pot Friday night about 10 o'clock and let it cook on high for about 4 hours. And then I put it on low and let it cook the rest of the night until 10 something the next morning. And then I turned it off because I could take the spatula and just push it right on through that pork roast. That's how it just completely fell apart. It was mwah. And I didn't put no seasoning on that pork roast. I just poured barbecue sauce, a whole bottle of barbecue sauce on it. Hickory smoked barbecue sauce. I think it was Kraft hickory smoked. I think that's what it was, or it might have been Great Value, Walmart brand. I don't know. It was just hickory smoke flavored. But yeah, and then I actually peeled potatoes for real potato salad. Johnny come in there and I was peeling potatoes. He said, "Wow, you're pretty good at that." Like he'd never seen me peel potatoes before. Yeah, it had been a long time since I peeled potatoes, but I still know how. And his new pot cooks up potatoes really fast because it's not just a regular cooking pot, it's a Dutch oven. And so it, within like 15, 20, not even 20 minutes, those potatoes were cooked and ready to go. So anyway, and then tonight Will comes home from a get together with his friends and brings me a slice of coconut cream pie. he started to hand me this pie plate, and I looked at it and I was like, is that coconut cream? Coconut cream pie is my favorite. I'd almost hurt you over that. I can't make it, but I can eat it. As long as it's in moderation. Anyway, with the Hershner's order, in this big box I have in front of me now, I ordered the whole palette of the Heather's yarn. And then I ordered three of one color of the Bohemian Romance yarn. Recently, Cinnamon Stitches had ordered some different Hershner's yarn to give a try, and she had some of the Bohemian Romance yarn, and I wanted to give it a try and see if I liked it or not. I hadn't put it on the hook yet, but I wanted to feel it, and of course I ordered it in my favorite color. This color is called Peacock, which is in the turquoise family. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you the specs, because the specs are the same on all of these. But on this, it's 100% acrylic. It's 8 ounces, 226 grams, 489 yards, 448 meters. They recommend, let's see, does it say? It doesn't say. But it's a 4-weight yarn. It's made in China. And typically, they recommend a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook on these. But this does, I don't see. Yeah, there it is, 5.5, an I9 hook, and that's 5.5. But, and y'all can see that. It does have a little bit of a brushed acrylic thing going, so it is it's very little fuzz. It's not nearly as fuzzy as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really fuzzy, but it's really not. It's nothing like that Super Saver brushed. It's nothing like that. But it's really soft. It's really soft. I'm thinking it's probably going to work up pretty soft too. I hadn't quite decided what project it will be worked up in, but I have 3 of these, so I have enough for whatever I want to work it up in. And the heathers are 8 different colors, and I've seen these on Crystal Bagweday's channel before, and she's made things out of these. I think a blanket or something. And when I touched these, it reminded me of this yarn that Lion Brand has called Heartland yarn. And I know some of y'all have probably worked with that, but that's what it reminded me of, as far as the softness and the feel and even the look of it. I went and looked at it on Joann's to make sure I had the name right. But the thing about the Heartland yarn is it's slicker and it's thinner. This is a good 4-weight yarn, and it's not slicker. It doesn't have a sheen to it. Now this color, let me see, what color is this? This color is Fossil, and I would say it's kind of an olive green color, but it's very nice. And man, this is soft. This is really soft. This is as soft as the Antiquity yarn. They have another line of Hershner's yarn called the Antiquity yarn, and it's really, really nice. Like if you've had some Hershner's yarn and it wasn't soft, it was Super Saver. It was, very similar to Red Heart Super Saver, stiff kind of yarn. Give the Antiquity a try, and give the Heathers a try, because that's what this is. This is the Heathers, worsted 8 Heathers, and this is just the same amount of softness as the Antiquity yarn. And I use the Antiquity yarn to make Will, my oldest son, and my youngest son John, sweaters this last Christmas. And it was so wonderful to work with. My friend Cheryl had sent me some in a Happy Meal, some of the Antiquity yarn, and I enjoyed it so much. I do plan on probably buying some more, but I really wanted to try this yarn because I had been staring at it so long, and Crystal on Bagwed had raved about it. She had, said good things about it. But this is the Fossil color, so I'm gonna put that right there. And this is so pretty. This is the Verve Violet. So this is sort of like a purple. Nah, not quite purple. More like a rosy, I don't know, violet, I guess, but not quite. But I like it. Now, what I had decided I would do after I looked through this yesterday is that I would make myself a sweater out of some of this yarn. I'm gonna pick 4 colors and make me a sweater, because that's how much I like this. And I don't know, it depends on John. I may make Johnny a sweater out of some of this too. For winter, for this later in the year. And then there's another color here. This one is called Brick. So this is sort of like a faded red color, but very nice. Kind of like a faded rust color, but brick is appropriate, I think, brick is an appropriate name for that. Ooh, I like this one too. This one is called Teal Lake. Of course I like this one. But definitely, look at that. And my light might be blowing some of these out, but I don't think so. Let's see, yeah. Let's see if I pull it over here, you can, yeah, that's fine. Because I have a little desk light over there by my bed that I turn this way for light. But no, this is showing up right. But it's so nice. I could just feel them all day, as it feels so nice. Let's see. And they're a little stringy because they didn't put these in plastic like I would have expected. You buy a color palette of a particular yarn, you would expect them to put it in plastic, but they did not. This color is called Mustard Seed. And I concur. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks mustard color. And it's a very nice one though. A very nice mustard. Some mustard colors just don't appeal to me, but I really like this one. And I like this one so much I pulled some out of the end to see if I could feel it now, what it was looking like. This one is called Saffron. Ooh, a nice orange. Very pretty. And I got space in the box, so I'm gonna stick that back in. Ooh, nice blue. Let's see here. And this one's called Navel. Real pretty blue. I like this a lot. Ooh, but I have to pick out, I'm gonna pick out 4 colors for a sweater for myself. And then 4 colors probably for a sweater for John, for a winter sweater. That's what we'll be doing with this yarn. It's just, I like it so much. And the last and final color is Woodland. I concur. That's a nice color. It's kind of a dark gray, but almost, it's somewhere between gray and brown. Actually, I've been, you know, and sometimes when an opportunity presents itself and I get a chance to travel, and sometimes when we're going like in South Louisiana, there are some trees that go down Highway 10 in South Louisiana, and there'll be some trees this color, this exact color. So yeah. So woodland is appropriate. This exact color those trees are. And I always wanted to draw them or paint them, those trees, because they just look so cool when you know, I don't know how to explain it, but they just have this really cool texture, those trees do. But so this one was Woodland, and this one was Navel. Saffron, right? Yeah. Verve Violet. Fossil. Mustard Seed. Brick. And Teal Lake. So that's the heathered yarn from Hershner's. That's their whole color palette of that. And this is just the Bohemian Romance in Peacock. Now, as you can see, it does, I don't know if y'all could tell, maybe in that little spot right there, that it has a wee bit of fuzz, but not a terrible amount of fuzz. It'll probably come out more after it's washed. And I had 3 of these. So yeah, that's my Hershner's order. So now I've showed you my Mary Maxim order, my Hershner's order, and the top that I just finished making. So quite a bit of eye candy for this video. But it's been a pretty decent laid back weekend. I just been working on that top because I wanted to get it in the mail this week so that she could have it in time for her birthday, even though she's not that far away. So it shouldn't take too long to get to her once I put it in the mail. Anyway, and I do want to thank all of you for your wonderfully supportive comments on my last video. I appreciate that very much. And I want to also give a shout out to my channel members. I have 3 channel members now. Cheryl, she knows who. I have trouble how she has her screen name on YouTube, but Cheryl knows who she is. And then Connie Wagner and Dee Dee Christensen. So thank you to my channel members that I have so far. I appreciate that very much. I hope all of y'all have a wonderful week and a good night. Please remember that I love you and so does Jesus. And please adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye now.